Hello everyone, I greet in the name of God Almighty. My name is Apostle Newton Silas and I'm here with Nancy Grace, and today we'll be reacting to Jordan Peterson, one of the most savage comeback highlight compilation. Whoa, okay. This happens to be the first time of actually checking out his video. I believe that is going to be a very interesting one. So guys, if today happens to be the first time of you checking out my channel, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and follow me on my Facebook and Instagram. And if you have any video you want me to react to, don't forget to drop it at the comment section and I'm going to check it out. So guys, before we get down to the video, I'm a theologian and I make this video not to discredit anyone's religion or anyone's opinion. This is just basically for educational purposes, and I believe that we are going to enjoy this video, whatever gender you might be. I guess you're gonna be enjoying this. So guys, let's check it out.
I think a trans woman is a real woman.
I don't really like the way those questions are formulated. You know, I don't know what that means. What do you mean a real woman?
Well, I'm asking you, in your mind, you know, it depends what you think a real woman is, but do you think a trans woman is a woman?
No.
Why not? Because
I think that women are capable, generally speaking, of having babies, and they have female genitalia, and they have an XX chromosome, and I think the biological markers are relevant.
I'm interested in people being able to have different choices and having equality of outcome.
Aha, well, so the overwhelming proportion of people who are in prisons are male. Now, do you want to equalize that, just out of curiosity? What about bricklayers? They're 99% male, and we've got about 3/4 of the population now in universities in the humanities and social sciences are female.
Yeah.
Are we going to equalize that? And men work longer hours, they work more dangerous jobs, they're more likely to move, they're more likely to work outside. They're more likely to participate in jobs in the STEM fields that are scalable. They make more money for those reasons. And that's all hidden under the idea that the reason that men and women make different amounts of money is because of their gender. It's a very simplistic analysis.
Why are you against the use of alternate pronouns?
I'm against the use of legislation to determine what words that myself and other people are required to utter.
But would you use alternate pronouns if a student asked you to?
I think I've made my position on that clear already.
Well, perhaps not to our audience at home who are just being introduced to this. Would you use alternate pronouns? And why not?
Because I don't believe that other people have the right to determine what language I use, especially when it's backed by punitive legislation. And when the words that are being required are the constructions, they're artificial constructions of people I regard as radical ideologues whose viewpoint I do not share. That's pure narcissism at work, by the way. You know, to hijack an event like this that other people put time and effort into, and to use their civility of the crowd and the civility of the organizers as an excuse to blatantly yell out your ill-informed opinions is no way to conduct a civil dialogue. It's absolutely appalling. The people who do that should be embarrassed. I would say that anybody with more than a cursory knowledge of 20th century history who dares to claim simultaneously that they have compassion for the downtrodden and that they're Marxists are revealing either an ignorance of history that's so astounding that it's actually a form of miracle, or a kind of malevolence that's so reprehensible that it's almost unspeakable. Because we already ran the equity experiment over the course of the 20th century, and we already know what the Marxist doctrines have done for oppressed people all around the world, and the answer to that mostly was imprison them, enslave them, work them to death, or execute them. And as far as I can tell, that's not precisely commensurate with any message of compassion. Sorry, tried that, didn't work. We got 100 million corpses to prove it, and that's plenty for me. And if it's not enough for you, well then you should do some serious thinking either about your historical knowledge or about your moral character.
Question for Professor Peterson. Why do you feel that someone's personal gender identity and pronouns infringes your free speech? Can one not also argue, based on your interpretation, that professors can use racial slurs in their classroom and that the inability to do so would violate their freedom of speech?
There's a difference between saying that there's something you can't say and saying that there are things that you have to say. And I regard these made-up pronouns, all of them, as the neologisms of radical PC authoritarians. Do you understand that? And I'm not a fan of that sort of person. And the reason I'm not a fan of that sort of person is because I've done my homework. I've read everything I can get my hands on in the development of authoritarian political systems, and I know the literature inside out and backwards. And I am not going to be a mouthpiece for language that I detest. And that's that. Inflict upon men. When the Marxists say, well, that wasn't real Marxism, what it really means, and I've thought about this for a long time, it's the most arrogant possible statement anyone could ever make. It means, if I would have been in Stalin's position, I would have ushered in the damn utopia instead of the genocidal massacres, because I understand the doctrine of Marxism and everything about me is good. It's like, well, think again, sunshine. You don't understand it. You don't understand it. And you're not that good. And if the power was in your hands, assuming you had the competence, which you don't, you wouldn't have done any better. And even if you had, there would have been someone else waiting right behind you to shoot you the first time you actually tried to do anything good. And that's what happened to all the old guard who ran the damn revolution. Stalin rounded them all up and shot them, along with their families and millions of other people. So even if you do happen to be that avatar of moral purity that you claim implicitly, the probability that you'd get to act out your goodness in relationship to those possessed by your ideology is zero.
Is being sensitive to offence such a problem though? Like, we would have previously called that manners.
It's a terrible problem. So imagine you, okay, so the rule is you can't offend anyone. All right, let's say you're speaking to one person, I can't offend you. All right, fair enough. What if I'm speaking to 10 people? Do I get to offend 1 in 10? How about 1 in 100? How about 1 in 1,000? You're going to come out on stage and you're going to say something important about something vital, and you're not going to offend 1 person in 1,000? Well, you can't say anything about anything important ever without offending probably the person you're talking to. Important speech about important issues, especially contentious issues, is instantly offensive.
Whoa, that's a very interesting video per se. Even today happens to be the first time of me checking out Jordan Peterson video. But then I'm actually here with a lady, so we're going to have a very interactive discussion here. First, I want to even ask you, Nancy Grace, do you believe that men are dominant in society?
Yeah.
You believe that men are dominant in the society? Why did you say so? For instance, let's say our religion. Now, for instance, let's talk about Christianity per se. Do you think the dominance in religion, Christianity, do you think they are men?
Yeah, I think so.
And why do you think men are the dominants and not the women? Why do you think so?
I don't know. I think most of the churches, they don't allow women to participate in some of the, I don't know.
Okay, what you mean is like some of the doctrines in the church
In
don't
the
allow
church, don't
women
allow
to
women.
officiate at the course of the service. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, based on Paul teachings that women are.
Okay, so you are not actually blaming it on Paul now.
No.
Okay, so
No,
what
that's
saying,
what they believe. I think it's not about Paul,
okay,
but it's just their own belief that women is not supposed to be allowed to do some certain things.
Okay.
In order not to dominate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to you, it feels like it's men who are dominating.
Yeah.
But of course, in churches, I do see a lot of females ministers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so between the, okay, so let's talk about in your church, for instance, right? I don't want to mention the name of the church, but then so let's look at the number of the male ministers and female ministers. Who are the dominants, the male or the female?
The male.
Be honest.
No, the male.
The male?
But yeah, I think it's very, very important because I think my gender, they are too possessive.
Okay.
So if you allow them, they'll just trying to possess everyone. And
okay, so let's look at it, let's say probably in a political sphere. You know, we can talk about the United Kingdom. You know, it's just last year that they lost Queen Elizabeth, right? Yeah. But Queen Elizabeth has been there for more than 50 years as their leader since they practiced monarchy. So she has been their leader, right? And then she has been dominating.
Yeah.
So do you still feel like also in politics that men dominate than the women?
Yeah, men dominate than
okay, you still believe that, but you know, Queen Elizabeth was there just before she died last year.
It's only Queen Elizabeth Arthur.
Okay, but okay, all right. But then, okay, Michaela was also the Chancellor of Germany. She was also their leader, and then she was also a woman. And then we'll also look at I think Croatia. Their president is also a woman too, right? So don't you think that the women are coming up? But then I think the last time, I think in your country, I guess you are part of the electoral people that you are taking care of the voting. Between the numbers of the people, between the male and the female, which ones was most?
Male.
Among your colleagues? Is female? So you think everything is about male? Okay, fine. So let's talk about organizations. Let's say organization. Probably it could be bank, it can be anywhere, like school and all that. Which one do you think is still dominance?
Male.
Still male in school. So in your high school, you think it was male there dominated than the female? All right, but I think you actually study fashion designer, right? But I think your head of department is a female, right? Yeah. Okay, what about other department? Be honest.
Other department.
Yeah.
Male.
Still male. So to you, it feels like in our society everything is being dominated by male?
Yeah. And I also think it's cool that way.
Okay, it's cool that way. Why do you think it's cool that way?
Oh, that's what I'm saying, the way they handle things.
So to you, it feels like the way men handle things is more better than the way women do?
Yeah, more mature than...
Well, women, I believe you can hear your colleague. She is the one saying it. I am not the one saying it. But anyway, just like Peterson was saying, you know, looking at the prison and all that, you got to realize that we have a lot of more males in the prison, more than the women. When he was also talking about also those ones who go to war, who are likely to die, they are male. Now, when we also look at Uber drivers now, right, is what? Male, right? So what happened to the female? Okay, let's look at armed robbers, for instance. People who are mainly armed robbers. I'm not saying that doing armed robbery is good, right? But now the question is, look at the numbers. Male or female?
Male.
Male, right? Okay, those armed robbers that went on to get the money, right? What did they want to use the money for?
To take care of
the females.
Their family.
What if they're going to do that to get the money to go and take care of the women? But can a woman also do that for a man?
Yeah.
Can she? Can you give an instance for a woman sacrificing for a man?
Oh, there are many of them out there.
Okay, all right. So, start an example.
Take care of their family.
Okay, family, but not the man.
Both the man and the children. So,
okay, so it feels even. All right, so you still feels like men dominate the women.
Yes.
That's your opinion.
Yes.
But I don't feel the same way.
Okay.
Anyway, it was just a very interesting one, guys. I so much love this video. Peterson have actually said a lot, and I'm also of same opinion with him. I feels like men don't dominate because women also dominate. That's why even if when you look at even the population of the world, of course, you can even tell from the start, right? So who dominate? Still the women. most things in the stand are always the women, the women. If you have gone to the hospital, you got to realize that most nurses are meant to be what, women and not men. Oh, am I lying? Anyway guys, that's a very interesting video. I so much love this video. At least it was a bit interactive, though the woman here decided to speak against the women, which is not my fault. And I so much enjoyed this video, and I believe that you also enjoyed this video. I would actually like to see your opinion and thought at the comment section. Let's have a very interactive one. Seriously, I will not mind coming back to actually react to this video again. So guys, remain blessed.